So it's really been a tough day. It's been an emotional day, I think, for everybody, because at the table we all knew Charlie. He was such an inspiration in this country, and he was just such a part of such an important fight, which is saving the kids and getting the kids with a right train of thought. I want to talk to everybody at the table here as we start this show. Carl, I want to start with you, and let's start with the fact that the shooter is still at large tonight.
I mean, that's the most nerve-wracking thing.
Yeah.
You know, everybody, the internet's got its theories, but right now, you know, the person who did this is still out there, and you know, this is something. If you can get into the panic crowds, if you can get away from your post without being noticed, you get into the panic crowds, it's very easy to slip away. And it's, you know, this is like a kidnapping. It's if you have 5-10 minutes to find that person, or it gets a lot harder real quick.
Yeah. Greg, go ahead.
Well, I heard tonight from some security experts, they call it a professional hit. This is professional. And getting away like that, assassins don't get away. John Lennon, they got the guy right away. Lee Harvey Oswald, I think it took a half hour. Who else? Robert F. Kennedy, they grabbed the guy right there. I mean,
John Wilkes Booth on horseback.
Yeah.
It's that's astounding. You're right. And but look, Charlie, it's hard to believe he's gone. I really thought he could be president of the United States someday. Mm-hmm. It's a very unusual situation where somebody, I'm decades older than Charlie, but I looked up to him and I admired him and I could learn from him. And America has been set back very far tonight.
It was wild that he was 31. I didn't know that until today. 31. I mean, what he had accomplished in that short life was just incredible. An incredible young man. Rob, go ahead.
And so much changed.
Yeah.
He was shot a little more than 9 hours ago. So much changed today. Charlie Kirk, people forget, there is no Charlie Kirk analog on the left. There is no equal to Charlie Kirk. Donald Trump, you could make the argument he doesn't win Arizona without Charlie Kirk in November. You could make the argument that he doesn't win the election without Charlie Kirk and what Turning Point was doing. But what happened today? This guy wasn't a celebrity. He's not a politician with security. He's been in this building before. He's got private security. Mm-hmm. There's local security, campus security there in Utah. But what does this say about, this is the first truly large social media influencer to ever be taken out by an assassin's bullet.
And we
a lot changed today.
Easy it was to do this with nobody knowing it, and they still haven't caught the guy. That's the scary part here.
Yeah.
And you know, if like I said, we've all stood up and given public speeches outdoors.
You're vulnerable.
Does that continue?
And does life change now in America, Rob?
Right.
Do we do things differently?
A young lady texted me from Turning Point. I won't say who it was, but you know, she was devastated by this. But she said it was only a matter of time. I mean, she really felt that way, because she was like, the risk that he's taking. You're going up there, you're going under a tent in front of thousands of people. Many of them viscerally hate you with everything they have on a college campus. How long until somebody crazy walked in with a gun? They talked to kids today that there was no security. They weren't checking even bags. I mean, I'm amazed it hasn't happened already with a pistol or something like that. The risk that he took to do what he did. And let's talk about how important what he did was. Because if there's anything that I think the left has captured effectively, it's the education system in this country, and especially the universities and the colleges. And who was
that's
it that
the breeding ground for the left's movement?
Exactly, and they had them all. I mean, how many conservative universities are there in this country? There's like a handful.
At best.
And we talk about at best, and most of them are slowly being captured. He's the one warrior that was going into these places and pulling kids back when they're at their most vulnerable, when their minds are still growing and their minds are still mush, and they're so vulnerable to the ideals of socialism and equity and equality and things like that. They can be bent so quickly. He was in there pulling them back, and what we saw in this last election with young people moving in the direction towards Trump, so much of that is to his credit.
He could out-debate any one of those leftists on those college campuses. I mean, like facts like you wouldn't believe just off the top of his head, and that's what made him so effective.
Exactly right.
You guys have also seen how the left, there has been celebratory moments on the set of TMZ and the disgusting outburst in the House of Representatives when I think they wanted to have a moment of prayer and there was jeering. The left is a very ugly political movement, and I know there's been a smattering of condolences and prayers, but quite frankly, it's been inadequate, and this feels like a very dangerous moment.
Yeah, I agree, and I wonder what happens tomorrow and moving forward, because to me it feels like the left has declared war on the right. It did not begin today, by the way, and it didn't begin in Butler, Pennsylvania last July. Today they took out somebody who was, there is no equal to what Charlie Kirk has been able to accomplish. By the way, at 18 years old, he started Turning Point.
It's amazing.
And he's 31 now. And the legacy that he leaves behind is remarkable. But what happens tomorrow?
Yeah.
And I think that scares a lot of people, rightfully so, but the right will not be cowed.
Yeah.
And he did not die in vain.
Yeah. And to Greg's point, the tremendous gaslight we've heard over the last recent years that white Christian, conservative men are the most dangerous element in our society, which was just the most unfathomable lie.
Yeah.
I mean, we're seeing what the most dangerous element in society is. It's effectively the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking about Charlie Kirk's ability to debate, like devout Christian. Let's just roll some of his debates with an atheist.
Yeah, let's do it.
If you look around with creation, there are 15 fine-tuned measurements that if anyone went off by a micron, our entire existence would not exist. The tilt of the Earth, our proximity to the sun, our configuration of oxygen to carbon dioxide. In fact, we can look at the probability of our existence. It's 1 in multiple trillions that all of this would come together at an exact time, let alone consciousness, let alone human beings, let alone our DNA. The teleological argument for God, that comes from the Greek word telos, which means, we get the word telescope. It means goal, destination, or purpose. This here goes to an argument that for every cause, for every effect, there must be a cause. So, for example, we can agree that space, time, and matter exists. We agree.
Yes.
Therefore, definitionally, something that is outside of space, time, and matter must have made space, time, and matter exist.
Not necessarily. We can. There
Well,
could
then
be
it's against
something.
the laws of reason. We as Christians have hope that we are going to see our loved ones again, and that we will be in heaven, and that we will be in perfect peace, and that this is not it. In fact, there's something even better awaiting us. So I hope one day that you do seek to find something higher and better, that this is not all for us in our existence. Thank you so much.